Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, football fans around the world. It is the DOUG here for his NFL Week 11 picks. Now, in Week 10, I went 7-7. Not bad, not great. Winning week by the skin of my teeth. And before we get to Week 11 and all the news that's going on in the NFL right now, due to all the recent people getting let go and injury news, let's go over Week 10. On Thursday night last week, the Vikings got the shock of the week again. Got the shock of the week, beating the Redskins 34-27. The Redskins will need to win out and get a little bit of help to get into the playoffs, which we'll talk about the playoffs after we get through the Week 10 recap. Philadelphia Eagles beat Green Bay in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers not playing. Could it have been a different game with Rodgers there? We'll never know. The Jaguars get the first win of the year, beating the Tennessee Titans 29-27. The Steelers shocked the Bills 23-10. The Giants hold off the Raiders 24-20. The Colts get destroyed at Indianapolis by the Rams 38-8. The Atlanta Falcons continue to be the most biggest disappointment team from last season into this year, losing 33-10 to Seattle. Ravens get an upset victory over Cincinnati 20-17. The Lions hold off the Bears to win 21-19, winning the first game in Chicago in many years. The Panthers beat the 49ers in what was a great game, best game of the week, and a great defensive game, winning 10-9. The Houston Texans fall short just a bit, losing to Arizona 27-24. Denver, with a hurt Peyton Manning, still beat San Diego 28-20. The Saints, unfortunately, whoop up on my Cowboys 49-17. And the Buccaneers Monday night got their first win of the year, beating the Miami Circus 22-19. Now, before we get to Week 11 and all the news there, we got to talk about all the news that's going on right now. The Texans have cut Ed Reed, so the question is, will Ed Reed play anywhere else this year? A lot of teams in the playoff hunt right now could use him, like the Colts. Baltimore, who's still alive, I'm sure they would love to sign him back. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, wide receivers, Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Daniel Bowman, was arrested Sunday by police in Riverside, Missouri for speeding in possession of marijuana. Yeah, ain't that just great? John Fox hopes to return before the end of the season. Rodgers isn't now. It's first for Aaron Rodgers. He's still improving, but it looks like he probably will not be back on the field by this week. Also, for the Cowboys, unfortunately, Sean Lee got hurt. He will be out 3 to 4 weeks, but Cowboys have a bye this week, so hopefully he can be healed up pretty quickly. And the 49ers cut ties with Kyle Williams. And the Eagles signed Brad Smith, who was released by the Buffalo Bills last Friday. So a lot of new teams are signing receivers or players. Going to be interesting to see. Now, of course, let's talk about the playoff standings. Since Dallas did lose and has a bye week, they still hold a tie in the NFC East. And let's talk about the NFC. Seattle right now still holds the number 1 seed in the NFC. Then it's New Orleans in second, holding a good game lead over Panthers in the South. Detroit is in control of their own destiny as they lead in the North. Dallas holds a tiebreak over Philly to hold on to the East. North Carolina and San Francisco, all your 5th and 6th seed teams. As far as for wild card, Arizona is the first team on the outside looking in. They do play San Francisco later this year. If the cards go right, Arizona could be in the playoffs. We also have Chicago still alive. Green Bay is also still alive at 5-4, like Chicago. And Philadelphia is 5-5 and are battling with the Cowboys for the NFC East. Now the Rams are not eliminated yet, but if they do lose, if they do lose this week, they will most likely be eliminated, barring a miracle. Giants and Washington, they're still in it because the NFC East is terrible this year. Atlanta, Minnesota, and Tampa Bay have been eliminated. It still kind of sucks though. Washington and Giants are 3-6, and they can still make it. Unbelievable. As far as for the AFC, Kansas City is number 1, followed by the Patriots, the Colts, and the Cincinnati Bengals, all controlling their respective championship right now in their division. Denver is the wild card seed, also followed by the New York Jets. As far as for the teams still alive, Miami, Tennessee, Cleveland, Baltimore, and San Diego are pretty much all the dominant front runners. Jacksonville, Houston, Buffalo have been eliminated. Pittsburgh and Oakland on life support. If they lose this week, yeah, they're pretty much going bye this week. Now let's get to the picks. On Thursday night, we have the Colts, who have been pretty good on the road, 3-1 on the road, take on the Titans, who have not been that good at home, are only 2-3. Now in this particular series, last 3 meetings, the Colts have won all 3 by at least a touchdown or less, excluding the 2011 game on October 18th. I'm going to take the Colts on this one. I think the Colts bounce back from the loss against the Rams. So, Colts should bounce back this one pretty easy. Looks like the Titans will not have their starting quarterback. He is out due to injury. So, that does not help them. So, the Colts should easily win this one. By the way, the Cowboys and the Rams have a bye this week. So, if you're a Cowboys fan or a Rams fan, hey, kick back. The team's got the bye, got the week off so they can heal up, do whatever they need to do to get ready for week 12. Now, by the way, speaking of the Titans, like I said before we continue, they do not have their main quarterback, Jake Locker, who was placed on injured reserve today and is expected to have surgery in the near future to repair the injury he suffered Sunday. So he's pretty much done for the year for the Titans. Sorry about that, Tennessee. Moving on. We start with the Jets and Bills. Now the Jets have been a terrible road team at 1-3, while the Buffalo Bills have not been a great home team and not been a great team, period, as they've only won 2 home games this year. Now, of course, the series currently, as of right now, in the last 3 games are in the Jets' favor, 2-1, and I think the Jets, that is right, the Jets, Jets, win this one again. I'm not buying their offense, but I'm buying their defense on this one. They got one of the better defenses right now, and Geno Smith they're able to win without him being great. I don't know if they can win a playoff game under that way. We shall see. Next, a battle of 2 disappointing teams, as it is the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Atlanta has not won a road game all year long. Buccaneers just won the first game of the year. As an upset pick, I am taking the Buccaneers to win this. I've been very disappointed with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sure their fan base has felt even worse. Sorry for the Falcons, I hate to say this. Your string of bad luck continues. Up next, we have the Detroit Lions, who are 3-2 on the road, taking on the Steelers, who are 2-2 at home. I am taking the Detroit Lions on this one. They got a great defense. Their defense is subpar, not great but not bad. But I love their offense. Now, I will warn you though, the Steelers have won the last 3 meetings. Keep that in mind. But I don't think the Steelers Steelers are playing for team pride. But there's no way I can say Matthew Stafford's going to play bad. So I'm going to stick with the Lions. Should be a good game to watch. Maybe one of those hidden gem games this week. Up next, we travel to Philadelphia as the Redskins take on the Eagles. Now, Redskins have only won a road game this whole season, while the Eagles, who have been great on the road, have not won a home game yet. So something's going to have to give here. To me, if the Eagles want a shot at the playoffs in the NFC East and get in, they're going to have to win a home game. I do not think you can make the playoffs if they go 8-8 and say they are favored to win at home. If they're a road team, definitely. Home team, I'm not too sure because they've not been that great at home. But I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles on this one. The offense has been improving and the defense has as well. Now, my buddy Justin Ferguson, you told me you were going to be at the game, so I hope you enjoy it, and I do wish you Eagles luck. Now, I know some of you may be surprised why I would pick Philadelphia if I'm a Dallas fan. Well, I'm not basing it on the fact I would technically need, yes, the Eagles to lose, but that would not be a good enough reason to pick the Redskins on this one. I'm picking the Eagles. I trust the offense and the defense more than I trust the Redskins at this point. Up next, we head to Jacksonville as the Arizona Cardinals take on the Jags, who just won their first game this year. I'm taking Arizona. Yes, the Jaguars do lead in the head-to-head, but I trust the Cardinals. Cardinals are still playing for a playoff spot right now, so I'm going to take Arizona. I trust their defense. By the way, So as for the Eagles and Redskins have won the last two meetings, but this season the Eagles did beat them 33-27 in the first Monday night game of the year. Up next, we have the Houston Texans, who are 2-7, taking on the Oakland Raiders. I am taking the Texans on this one. Raiders have not won a road game all year long. Hopefully that continues this week. So, good luck to the Texans. I think you're going to need it. By the way, Jaguars have not won a home game this year. But on the other side of that, while we're bouncing back to the Cardinals and Jaguars, Cardinals have only won one road game this year. So keep that in mind as well. Up next, we travel to Chicago as the Baltimore Ravens take on the Chicago Bears. Now, the Bears, most likely, no one knows who's starting quarterback yet. It's either going to be Cutler or McCown. I don't care who it is at this point. Now, Ravens have not been a good road team this year. They've only won one road game out of the five they played. Bears have been a good, strong home team. But I'm going to take the Ravens just because I am uncertain on who the starting quarterback will be. If it's Cutler, Ravens, I think, will win the game. If it is McCown, Ravens' defense is going to have to play damn good. They may want to sign Ed Reed back just in case. Up next, we travel to Cincinnati, WKRP, where Cleveland takes on the Bengals. Browns fans are hoping they can win this one to make the division very interesting. But I'm going to take the Bengals on this one. I think Bengals bounce back from the loss against the Ravens. Bengals have not lost a home game this season. Browns have been a terrible road team, only winning one out of the four. So it should be interesting to see what gives there. Now, as far as for the head-to-head, because I want to bounce back because I forgot to do that, I apologize. Ravens have won the last two of the three head-to-heads. Because Ravens and Chicago Bears don't play each other that much. As far as for the Browns and Bengals, this rivalry for games have been weird. The Browns have won the last two of the three head-to-heads. So it's going to be interesting to see what gives there. And the Browns do have a great defense, but the Bengals offense trumps the Browns offense in this case. Up next, we travel to Miami as the San Diego Chargers and the Miami Dolphins take it on each other to see who can keep the playoff hopes alive, get to 500 by the other team, goes on life support, and here's this. Clear. I'm taking San Diego on this one. Well, yes, Miami has only beaten them once in the last three meetings, and the fact that San Diego has been a decent road team at 2-3. Miami's been 2-2 at home, but Miami's got too much problems right now. I would stick with San Diego this week. Up next, we travel to New York as the Green Bay Packers take on the New York Giants. Now, the Packers will once again most likely be out without Aaron Rodgers, and they're 2-2 on the road, while the Giants are 3-6 and are trying to keep playoff hopes alive. Now, of course, in the last three meetings, the Giants have won those meetings 2 out of the 3 times. But I'm taking the Packers because I trust the offense a little more. Don't get me wrong. Packers are not going to be having Rodgers, but I think their defense is somewhat clicking. And the Giants, I'm going to be honest, I want the Giants to lose because any chance I can see them be eliminated before it comes down to Week 17, that'd be great. That'd be great. So, Packers, don't fail me. Next, the Vikings take on Seattle. Now, the Seattle Seahawks has not done too well in this season, only winning one of the last 3 meetings. The Vikings have won the other 2. But what goes in Seattle's favor is they have not lost at home, and the Vikings have not won on the road. Both their wins came technically at home. I mean, one against the Redskins, of course, the one against the Giants, which was in England. And Seattle's got a better offense and defense overall. So I'm just going to stay with the Seahawks on this game. Up next, Saints versus the 49ers. I'm taking New Orleans. Did you not see what they did to my Cowboys this past week? And the Niners, well, yes, Dallas did get the butt whooped. We at least put up double digits. The Niners only scored 9 points. Now, while yes, their defense for the San Francisco 49ers is impressive, the offense is not the same offense from last year. Do you know that the Niners ranked 32nd in passing on offense? That's a telling number. It's great that you can run the ball, be 4th in rushing, but if you can't pass the ball, I don't think you got a shot. And if you want to beat the Saints, you're going to have to pass the ball. I don't think the Niners can do it. Saints win this game easily. Up next, Sunday night game, it is the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. By the way, the last 3 times these Saints and Niners have met, Niners have won 2 out of the 3 times, but I don't trust San Francisco. Chiefs taking on the Broncos. Well, Broncos have won the last 2 meetings, but this is a different Chiefs team from years gone by. This Chiefs team can actually play football. With that being said, I'm taking Denver. I think they will end the Kansas City Chiefs streak. And Kansas City has tough games because you play Denver this week. Next week you play New England, and then guess what? You play Denver again. These next 3 games for the Chiefs, particularly the 2 against Denver, would decide their division. If Chiefs win both of them, they win the division. If they split, it's a toss-up. If Denver wins both, just hand Peyton Manning the 1st seed now. I'm taking Denver on this one now. Monday night game. It is the North Carolina Panthers who are on a very hot streak taking on the Patriots. Now the Patriots have won the last 2 meetings, but this is not the same old Panthers, and this is not the same old Patriots from teams gone by. While yes, I know the Patriots have been a pretty decent, good road team, well, somewhat of a road team this year at 2-2, the Panthers are better at home at a 3-1 stance. I am taking the surprising North Carolina Panthers, who have been on a very good streak the last few weeks. As a matter of fact, the last time they lost was in Week 5 against Arizona. Since then, they beat Minnesota, the Rams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and this past week against San Francisco. I'm taking New England on this one. Yeah, right, I already told you, I'm taking the Panthers. New England, normally I would take you. Yeah, I botched, Sammy. I'm taking the Panthers, like I said. I normally would take New England in a case like this, but Panthers have just been hot. Patriots, I mean, they're coming off the bye week. It should be interesting. Now, granted, normally the Patriots would win this, but I'm going to take Carolina. I just believe what they're selling right now, so to speak. So, as a recap, I have the Colts, Jets, Buccaneers, Lions, Eagles, Cardinals, Texans, Ravens, Bengals, Chargers, the Green Bay Packers, the Seahawks, the Saints, the Broncos, and the Panthers. Let me know what you think of my picks. By the way, because I forgot to say it at the beginning, for the season, I am 85-71. Pretty damn good. Let me know what you think of my picks. Do you agree or disagree? And I will see you for Week 12, baby. Woo!